Let's come to the next category of pronoun, that is demonstrative pronouns. Again, these videos are technical in nature, and you must understand the basics of it. These have nothing to do with the aptitude. Yes, the previous one was very important, the one in which we discussed the objective case and the subjective case of the pronouns, and these categories are not that important, but you must keep in mind because many a time while giving answers to certain questions we use these technical terms, and therefore to be familiar with these technical terms is very important. Now suppose if I say this is yours, right? This is yours and that is mine, correct? So this is yours, that is mine. I can replace this with this book is yours, this book is yours, and that book is mine. What is the difference between the two sentences here, right? The first sentence says this is yours and that is mine. The second sentence says this book is yours and that book is mine. That book is mine. I will put the word here. To a layman, there is not much of a difference between the two sentences, but to a grammarian, these are two distinct categories of pronoun. This is basically the demonstrative pronoun in which the object is very close, and therefore you would say this is yours, and that is again a demonstrative pronoun in which the object is a little far away, and therefore you have used that, right? So this is yours, that is mine. And if you want to replace this with the plural, you will say these are yours and those are mine, right? So that is how we have the singularity and the plurality of these two cases, right? Now, when you say this book is yours, the problem with this is this too is basically a pronoun, but it is acting like an adjective. Why? Because it is qualifying the noun book. And that is why the grammarians would say that this is here adjective pronoun. It is not only a pronoun, it is an adjective pronoun because the pronoun is acting like an adjective which is qualifying the noun book, because we all know that adjectives qualify nouns. So this book is yours and that book is mine. So here we have the pronoun and it is qualifying the noun book. Here we have the pronoun qualifying the noun book. So these are demonstrative pronouns and these are known as adjective pronouns, demonstrative adjective pronouns. More or less they have the function of both pronouns and adjectives, right? I can replace this with these as the plural. These books are yours, changing the verb, and those books are mine, right? This is how we have this. We see the change here. It is just a technical change. In the first case, we have these acting as demonstrative pronouns, and these are all adjective pronouns. A demonstrative pronoun is one that directly indicates its antecedent, right? This points out to its object near in space, time, or thought. That points its object as comparatively remote in space, time, or thought. This or that may refer not to any single noun as an antecedent, but to a phrase, a clause, or a sentence. So we know that that which you told me yesterday was a lie. So let's take this sentence: that which you told me yesterday, right? That which you told me yesterday was a lie, right? So we must see here that what does this that refer to? This that refers to not any particular thing which is remote in time or close in time, but it refers to a idea or something which you must have said yesterday, a thought, right? So is the theory of evolution a mere hypothesis? It is not for me to answer. Let matters such as this matters basically means what? The theory of evolution be taken by naturalists. So what we understand here is that pronouns need not always be referring to a particular noun. They might also refer to a phrase or a clause or a sentence, right? So we must keep these nuances in mind while reading and writing sentences. So this is all about demonstrative pronouns. Now we will go to the next slide and we will see something about the other kinds of pronouns. In this slide, we have the interrogative pronouns. Now, the interrogative pronouns here are who, which, and what are used to ask questions. The nominative case, who is he? Because we don't know the person, and therefore we have simply used who, because this who is not referring, again, we had discussed at the start, this who is not referring to anyone. It is just a way of asking a question because we don't know the person. So, who is he? He is my friend. In the objective case, you would say, whom do you know? I know him, right? Many of you might be tempted to say, who do you know? Or is it right to say, whom do you know, right? So, which one is the correct way of writing the sentence? The correct way of writing the sentence is segment 2. Whom do you know? Why? Because you are the subject who is knowing, and the person who is being known is the object. Whom do you know? I know him, right? So what do you get here? Whom do you know? I know him. This is the answer that you get, right? So for whom, we get the answer him. And who knows? I know. So whom do you know? I know him. So if you really want to test the rule, you simply try to find an answer to this question. Whom do you know? I know him. I know her. I know them, right? So him, her, them are all the objective cases. So who is the nominative case, the subjective case, the objective case is whom, and the possessive case is whose, right? Whose book is this? And you would say this book is his, or this book is mine, or this book is hers, right? Certain points the reader must keep in mind. Who as an interrogative is used only for persons, right? So whenever you have people in mind, always use who, but which as an interrogative may be used for things, animals, and the rarest of the rare cases for persons. Find which is rarely used for persons these days, but who is used for persons, and also whom is used for persons when they are in the objective case, which is used for things, animals, and objects, which is again we have discussed. Interrogative pronouns have no antecedents. We have discussed this right at the start, right? In the properties of pronouns. Interrogative pronouns, that means pronouns when they have a question mark at the end, when they are a part of interrogative sentences, in those cases they don't have antecedents. This is all about interrogative pronouns.